All right, so I just watched a video with the Parliament of South Africa and some of the issues that are going on there. If you're not up to date with what's going on there or the news in terms of Black South Africans taking democratic steps to get their land back, land that was taken from, the colonialists who came to South Africa and took land from them and started apartheid. And so if you don't know that information, go ahead and do your research and get more info on that. But I just watched a video on it, and I watched a white South African man pretty much just made some pretty abysmal statements, and I think it just reflects, to be honest, what white people or Europeans think about us in general, as Africans, and that's just the reality of it, right? And I say in general because that's not everybody, but we're going to generalize because one, is easier, and that's what's done to all of us anyways, but the reality is, we, no matter where you are in the world as a Black person, we are always put at a disadvantage. We're not respected like we should be. We're always put at a disadvantage. We're always getting taken advantage of. We're always allowing others, foreigners, to come in and steal what we have, whether that's natural resources, whether that is our intelligence, our confidence, our pride, and that's killing us everywhere. It's not just an America thing. I grew up most of my life in Nigeria. I can definitely say that we allow this to happen all over our continent, not just in South Africa. Definitely happens in Nigeria. We don't believe and trust our own people. We believe and trust in other people, especially people of lighter skin, than we trust our own, which is what causes all our troubles, all our problems, whether it's the Black people in America, in any diaspora. Black people typically have the same problem everywhere you go. Everywhere you go in the world. Doesn't matter what country, even in our own countries. As you can see with what's happening in South Africa, even on our own land, you have people who have the audacity to come in and tell us that this land never belonged to us, or that we don't know how to take care of our own, and we continuously are kept in a state of need, in a state of dependency, and that's what's killing us. Everyone wants to depend on government aid or the federal, everything. It's always the blame on others. The government is not meant to take care of you. We should take care of ourselves. Before there was a government, a democratic government, we've always ruled ourselves. We've had our kingdoms. We've lived on our land for centuries. To this day, we still have our kingdoms in northern Nigeria and in southern Nigeria. So we have our history. We have the way we've done things. It wasn't when the white person came to our lands that we just all of a sudden knew how to do things, or we just all of a sudden existed. We've always existed. And it disgusts me what's going on in South Africa. But that's just the truth. You know, nowhere else in the world. America just saw its first black president. Right? Yeah. Yet, you look at our parliaments and you look at our countries. And when I say our, I'm talking about African countries. Look at the companies or people getting most of the contracts or the big jobs. It's always foreigners. It's never our own people. Everyone else can come in and get opportunities, and we give it to them before we give it to our own people. So why don't we expect these problems? We should expect it if we can't even trust ourselves. For this is not a video against white people or any other race. This is about my people, the African people, and that's who I'm talking to. So I could really care less about any white person in your opinion about this video. The fact that a white person could sit in our democratic parliament and make those kind of remarks and insinuate the repetition of apartheid, that's insane. Everyone's paying attention to America and Trump and all this shit. Like, pay attention to our own shit. Pay attention to your own shit. Who cares about Trump? We get screwed everywhere we go. And it's nobody to blame but us. But we're always looking elsewhere to blame other people. And talking does nothing. If you watch the video, and the guy in Parliament said that what was being proposed would practically cause a civil war, and they were fine with that. And he made a statement, and he said, you know, if it's war that you guys want, we're more than ready. And that, to be honest, that's just the mentality you gotta have, because nobody's gonna give us shit. Nobody's gonna give it to you, you know. And I'm not for violence or insinuating that it should get to that. Absolutely not. But it is absolutely mind-baffling that we can have today someone who raped, stole property and land that's belonged to you for hundreds of years to say that it never belonged to you. We didn't find anyone on there, so how could you say you went to Africa and you didn't find anybody there? Or that you negotiated for all this land and pushed everybody out. By negotiating, meaning apartheid? That's a negotiation? So I'm just making this video because I'm frustrated. Obviously, I just have my own 2 cents to say because I don't say much. I think it takes more people like myself. And when I say like myself, I just feel like I am well versed in the right position to make these kind of statements because I've grown up in both continents. I've seen both sides of the coin. I understand the way it works. And I am proud of South Africans, the legislator, what they're doing fighting for their land back, expropriation. I'm all for it. Being someone that comes with a real estate background, I understand the power that real estate holds. And so we need our land back. It's that simple. It's never belonged to a white person. That should have never been even stated. That it practically never belonged to us. That's insanity. That's insanity. And to sit back and do the same things over and over again that we've been doing for how long, to continue accepting that is insanity as well. And I'm not just going to talk to South Africa or my Africans, I'm talking to Black America as well. There's so much talk. Everybody can talk. Everybody talks. They can blab and talk about Trump this, Trump that, and it has nothing to do with anybody but you. Nothing. It's got nothing to do with anyone but you. When's the last time you spent money at a black business? Repeatedly, over and over again. When's the last time we trust each other for things? I don't know what it's going to take for my people all across the world, the globe, to get it. But we're brainwashed, and it's a mental thing. I think we all need to realize it's a different game. It's a different game they're playing. And we're too busy playing the game of who has the Nikes. Nike just made a shit ton of money. Look at that, huh? Nike already makes a shit ton of money. But I think it said 31% increase in sales just from the Kaepernick, campaign. Think about that. Think about the power of that. We just mentally we have to do something different. We have to change the way we think. There's a lot of people like myself who will make videos and talk, and we talk about the problems, but not too many solutions are being given. I'll say on my part, I feel like I have a different way of providing my solution, and I do that on a daily basis. And we need more doers, not talkers. Look out for yourself. Like, as a black person, I don't. Gone are the days where you talk to, a white person, other people, other races about the struggles we go through. Because I think I just came to the point of realization, like, wow, none of my Asian or white friends will ever understand what it means to walk in my shoes in this country. And that's just a fact. There's no amount of talking and explaining and frustration you can express. That's why you really don't talk about politics with anybody, because it's a waste of time to me. And once you come to that realization, it's more about what are you going to do? Are you going to keep complaining? Or are we just going to find a solution and find your way out? Then you can help other people. That's the way I see it. Then you can help other people. But for my black America's not for black people, yo. Like, you continue fighting. That's like the white man trying to fight for land in Africa right now. We don't want that shit to happen. So you think they're just gonna let you take over this country? Your power is in your money. Black people spend trillions of dollars a year. Where does that money go? Who's that money going to? Is it going to Nike? Has Nike helped your local community, or has it helped Kaepernick? Yes, I'm wearing Nike right now. Nothing against Nike. They have helped in... Actually, I don't know that they've even helped push the conversation forward. They haven't. Because now you're coming out with a campaign. This is a strategic marketing. I have a marketing background. This is a strategic marketing thing. And yeah, it keeps the conversation on the surface, right? However, at the end of the day, they're looking at what really counts. Just like everybody else has been doing to black people all across the world, and especially in America. They hook you emotionally, and you spend your money. It's that simple. We're emotional people. And that gets used against us all the time. It's passion. Those things can be directed in so many positive ways. But it can also be misguided. It can be manipulated. And that's what I see happening, especially with black people in America, is you continue falling for the same trick in a different set of clothes over and over and over again. And to have a conversation and to tell you bluntly becomes an issue, becomes a Africans looking down on African Americans. It becomes an African versus, and that's exactly what anyone who's looking for a different, that's exactly what you want. If you can split a team, or if you can split an army from within themselves, then you don't have to do much. What you got to fight for? That's the easiest way to win. That's a strategy, the art of war. Yeah. So this is my rant. I'm not sure how often I'm going to do this, but yeah, this was just on my mind, and I felt like recording a video for it. And I do have a lot to say. So maybe I'll start a podcast or something and talk some more, because I do have a lot of insight. Like I said, I'm born and raised in Nigeria. My accent is good. No get me wrong, go. Listen, I be Naija guy. I just get good accent. That's all. Ni daga arewa ne. Ni Hausa ne, ina jin Hausa, ina magana Hausa duka. Ba wani maganan ni dan America bane. Listen, you could take me out of Nigeria, but you could never take that out of me. I'm born and bred, and I'm proud of that. I've always been proud of that. Even when I moved to America, and it was not cool to be African. It was not. And I'm happy with the progress we've made in terms of the way we get treated, in terms of everyone's pride, But Wakanda ain't real. What is real is South Africa. What is real is Uganda. What is real is Nigeria, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Sudan, Chad. Those are real places. That's the real life Wakanda, and they've already depicted to you the power that it holds. It's real. I can tell you that firsthand. It is real, and more people need to take it a step further beyond just knowing your DNA test or telling me you're X% African because now you're proud. Instead of doing that, book a damn ticket. Instead of spending all your money on Nike, book a fucking ticket to South Africa or to Nigeria. Actually, South Africa is too much of a that's where everybody seems to go. You know, it's white enough for you to go. Go to Nigeria, go to Ghana, go to Uganda, go to Sudan. Not for missionary work, please. Please. We don't want no more missionaries. That has not helped us in any way, shape, or form. I take that back. It hurts us more than it's helped us. I'll put it that way. Charity is not really charity. Why can't we raise our own money to help our own local communities? We're creative enough. We have the natural resources. You have the intelligence. You have the skill. We have the manpower. We have the land. So there's no reason for you to continuously depend on foreign aid. There's no reason. It doesn't help. Free money is never free. It's never free. Money is never free. Ever. So accepting aid means we're giving up something else. And so my path is different. As somebody who's grown up in my local communities in northern Nigeria, I know what our problems are. And yes, there are solutions. But those solutions are not going to come from any European country. They're not going to come from any Asian country. Okay? They're not going to come from any Latin country. Those solutions are within us. Those solutions are in our human resources. Those solutions are in our intelligence. It's within us. It's not outside of us. So there's no reason to continuously do the same thing over and over again. The things we've been doing for generations. It's not going to be my generation. I can promise you that. As far as my people are concerned, northern Nigeria, that's definitely not going to be our testimony. Not in my generation. That's definitely changing. We can be self-sufficient. We don't need foreign direct aid. We don't. We don't need your charity. You know, we just don't. Black America, instead of buying Nike, all that money, how much is a pair of Nike? People spend, $400, $500 or more on some shoes, but won't buy a plane ticket to come back home. And yet everyone's always asking, yo, what's Nigeria like? What's Africa? Yo, why don't you just buy a plane ticket and find out? You have the ability to. You just choose to put your money in something else. And to wrap it up, I guess my name is Shalom. I am born and raised in northern Nigeria. I am a Nigerian citizen first. I do currently live in America, but go home often. No place like home, and there never will be anywhere else like home. But my name is Shalom. I am born and raised in Nigeria. I am a entrepreneur and soccer player, and I'll see you at the next World Cup.